I'm a very authentic person. I love to connect with people. I find my richness through the relationships I make, whether they're personal, romantic, professional. Like, that's who I want to be. Is I want to be the guy who's connecting with people.
Welcome to Stout Conversations, where every week we sit down with creative thinkers in the craft beer industry and beyond. Your hosts, Ken and April, live and work in a 24-foot RV, traveling the country in search of great stories around a great beer. Excited to be in Montana attending the BeerNow Conference for craft beer journalists, we spent a lot of time sharing a great deal of craft beer from Montana and beyond, toured several amazing craft breweries, and met all types of people with our same love of the craft, including Allo from the Craft Beer Concierge. This is his story of love for food, beer, travel, and people, and how he is working hard at creating a cohesive business that builds upon this spectacular community.
We're going to be formal now.
No, we're not. I was just going to say that we're actually here in, where are we at? Great Falls, Montana, at BeerNow Conference.
Cheers.
It's really awesome. Yes,
Woo-hoo.
totally. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yay. And we are here with
Allo.
This is your chance. Allo.
I'm Allo. I am the Craft Beer Concierge, formerly the Craft Beer Kitchen. I love to cook and I love to pair food with beer, and originally I was doing a lot of that, but life takes over and you can't spend as much time on that as you'd like. I've been a concierge by trade for 5 years now, and Craft Beer Concierge just kind of fit who I am, what I want to do. I love exploring the world of beer, sharing beer education, sharing itineraries with people, and being able to push people in the right direction of what they would like to drink, where they should drink it, and how they should drink it, for lack of better words.
So are you kind of like a travel guide then? You can
a little
do this
bit
from anywhere, or do
Yeah.
you have a specific location?
Well, I'm in San Diego right now.
Okay.
I'm in Craft Beer Business Program at San Diego State. It's a great immersive program that focuses on everything that's not brewing. It's marketing, sales, distribution, and then beer education. But it's something that I could turn into a service and do it remotely. I could work for hotels as a brewery liaison between breweries and hotels, or do tastings and talks at breweries.
But you are saying Craft Beer Concierge. You are a concierge, right?
I have been a concierge. I am no longer, but I have been a concierge for many years of my life at hotels.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Craft Beer Concierge is a persona that I'm trying to work into becoming a service at some point.
So you do want to like monetize this
I do,
business, and
yes.
is it in making money yet, or are you just
No,
in the beginning
it's
stages
it's
of it?
2 months in the beginning stages.
Okay.
Started my beer Instagram, just sharing my personality and kind of my voice to people, because I'm not about, like, I'm an influencer in the fact that I like to influence people by sharing education.
Yeah.
And not necessarily representing brands, but I like to represent styles of beer, talk to people about things. Hosting a couple events up in Northern California in Sonoma County at the end of the month. I'm doing a cooking and beer pairing and a private bottle tasting with at a friend's bar. I've done some beer travels this year. I've been to Ommegang Brewery in Cooperstown. I spent a week in Portland and Seattle. I'm here in Montana now. I live in San Diego. So I've curated a lineup of beers to bring up to this beer bar and share with people as they please, to kind of tell my story about beer.
So what do people get if they go to the craft? It's
thecraftbeerconcierge.com.
Right?
It's a blog in progress. It's been running for a couple weeks.
Okay.
And you're going to get things like food and beer pairings, which I'm still passionate about. National Cheese Day was the other day. And so I did a beer and cheese pairing. I've paired beer with chocolates. I went up to Seattle, took some local chocolates, took some local beers, figured out which ones work together for me personally. It might not be what you think. Some of the dark chocolates might have paired better with the lighter beers than you would have expected. And then brewery exploration. I went to Ommegang in Cooperstown, and I wrote a big blog post about my experience at Ommegang. So it's a mix of things, but it's what I'm passionate about.
So you're into the pairings. So like today here, we were like really lucky enough to have some guys come over from Belgium, from Chimay.
And those are my type of beers.
That is, if you've
brilliant.
never had a Chimay beer, they're like kicking into the United States. They're like reinvigorating their program here. And that's a Belgian Trappist beer, which is a really amazing beer. But they also make cheeses, really,
I didn't know that
fine
until today.
cheeses, which I didn't know either. And I honestly, as much of a beer geek as I am, I'd never had a Chimay beer before today. And they brought 3 of their like
Fantastic
best
beers.
of the best. And like, what did you think of the cheese and beer pairing?
I thought it was fantastic. I mean, the cheese, it was funky, but it was also soft, and it wasn't over the top. And you think of a goat cheese and the funkiness that comes with that.
Mm-hmm.
It was softer than that, both in texture and in flavor. It wasn't dominating. And I really like, because they paired it with their Trip Ale, which is the lighter of the 3 beers they served us. And the carbonation from the beer really scrubbed away at the lingering kind of softness of the cheese.
Do you see the future of like beer kind of heading more towards what you are starting to do with the food and beer pairing?
I think it's really big and underappreciated. Beer dinners are out there, but they can get pricey for people. I've kind of always wanted to do things anywhere from, beer and cheese, beer and cookie pairings to, taking a sauce that you might make with a white wine, like a Beurre Blanc sauce, and using beer in it somehow, or figuring out how to make it adaptable. So it's all chemistry in the end.
You gotta be excited.
I am excited.
I'm excited for you.
Yeah, it'll be good.
It's a fun place to go because we've run into people in the places you wouldn't imagine. Like in Louisiana, we were at Bayou Teche Brewing, which not a lot of people outside of Louisiana have heard of.
Sure.
But the guy who runs that, Carlos Knott, he's like really big on food and beer pairings, and like they do a lot of that down in Louisiana, and you're like, what?
And there are more,
and it's really surprising.
There are more food beers than you imagine. There are so many great beers that pair well with food, complement, and also contrast the food you're eating. And there's a big world out there, from anywhere from a German lager to a saison, which is everybody says, and I think pairs really well with seafood, Thai curries, anything that's a spice profile. Again, it's about how the carbonation and the richness or lack of richness of the beer plays with or against the food you're eating. And I think that's really cool.
I love it. I love where beer's going and where food's going with it.
It's great.
And it's big in Montana. Montana's apparently a great craft beer mecca.
And who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
Yeah.
We had no idea.
This is our first conference, and we're here and enjoying it.
It's our first conference, and we came to Montana and craft beer, really?
And we're about to go to a dinner that's going to have beer and food. So
Jeremiah Johnson.
And I'm going to find a pairing there that works very, very well together.
It's going to be great. But on that note, we have to ask one question that we ask everybody.
Yes.
Okay.
So, Stout Life, double-edged meaning, beer, full, authentic life.
Rich.
How would you define your Stout Life?
My Stout Life. I'm a very authentic person. I love to connect with people. I find my richness through the relationships I make, whether they're personal, romantic, professional. Like, that's who I want to be. I want to be the guy who's connecting with people, not on a deeper level than everybody else, but just on a human level, and find out what. I ran a brewery tour company, and I loved connecting with those customers. They weren't customers to me, they were friends. They were people who I was enriching their experience, enriching their lives by spending 8 hours a day with them, and that's who I am and what I want to continue to be.
I have to say, here's to new friends.
Here's to new friends, guys. Cheers.
New friends.
Cheers.
Montana.
Woohoo! Yeah. I keep doing that. That was awesome.
Yeah, it was fun.
Thank you.
Thanks, Allo.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
We have new conversations every week. Be sure to subscribe to Living a Stout Life so you don't miss out. We'd love to hear from you. What food and beer pairings make you drool? Let us know in the comments below or by following the link in the description.
But my website is the Craft Beer Concierge. It just says Craft Beer
plug
Concierge.
that.
I think
Wait,
have
I
that.
want to do one more
You
more thing though.
You
Just in
talked
case
about
I can cut it in though.
You talked about it.
Where can people reach you?
Yeah, he said on the craftbeerconcierge.com if people were to.
Yeah, we said
talked
I
about
know. I
it.
just want to say it again and again and
Oh,
again.
okay.
And then we can put it in the. I can loop it, edit it.
All right.
And Instagram
And I'm on, yeah, I mean, I'm on all over, so
Yeah,
I'm
cool.
Instagram,
Thank you so much.
Facebook,
He did plug it.
all that. Yeah, he did plug it. Cool.
I know,
Thanks,
I
guys.
just want to make sure. That was awesome.